I think everybody's goal is to make it to the NCAA tournament, so you aspire to that from the beginning of the year. That's your end goal is to get there and win it all. When you're in our situation, you're on the bubble or I guess off the bubble. Um, you're a little disappointed. I think the overall attitude was disappointed, but you know we get to play in the NIT, and so that's another opportunity to play more basketball. So I think initially it was disappointed, but now I think we've come to terms with it. We're more excited about being able to actually play another game. I mean, not every team gets to play an extra game at the postseason, so it's an opportunity to take advantage of.
I would think that's the key. A lot of teams are down.
Yeah.
They're still playing, so there's got to be something to say for that.
Yeah. It's another opportunity, and we came here to play basketball. You can go to school and play basketball, and so if you get a chance to keep playing basketball, you got to take advantage of it and gotta just be happy about it.
And do you realize that if you win 3 games, you go to New York, Madison Square Garden?
Yeah.
Has that been part of the discussion among the players at all?
I haven't talked to a bunch of the guys yet. I haven't seen anybody really. I didn't have any class today, so I haven't really been around. But I mean, you get to Madison Square Garden. That's the big stage. That's where all the big sporting events in history happen. You really hear about all the big fights and the big games. Bulls and Knicks and all that stuff. That's happened in Madison Square Garden. So that's a huge stage to play in.
How about a team that you don't know very much about, a conference you don't know very much about? What kind of prep is that going to be for them?
I think it's another game. We can't take anybody lightly. We can't come out and just think we're gonna win just because we walk on the floor, because we got a higher seed than a team. So we got to prep like we do for every game. Can't take anybody for granted. Got to play hard.
How much do you know about this team at all, Utah Valley?
I looked them up the other day after I learned we were gonna play them, just to see names of their players, and that's about all I know. Just a couple of the names.
What's the process right now? There's a scouting report, obviously, and then you start planning for specific players. How does that work exactly?
I think that I'm not sure how they're gonna approach it, because I just don't know, because we have today and tomorrow to prep, so we could either focus on just what we're gonna do today, or we could start talking about the other team, and I don't know. It could go any number of ways.
How would you characterize your team? It's a team that has had extreme highs, and then you guys have underachieved at other times. How would you characterize what it takes to get this team to kind of play its perfect game?
So how would I characterize this team just in general? Really high ceiling, lots of potential, and I don't know what happened. We just fell into a lull there in the middle end of the season, and we couldn't quite get out of it. I think when we beat Colorado at the end of the season, at the end of the regular season, I think that was our step in the right direction, and then we had to play them again, quick turnaround, and it was a hard-fought game. I thought we played hard, and they got the better of us that time. But I think if the season had been longer, obviously, if the Pac-12 conference had been longer, then I think we would have had people would have seen more positive results from us, because I think we were taking steps in the right direction in terms of just overall attitude and chemistry and everything.
So in that sense, does the NIT feel maybe like even a kind of a reprieve, a chance to keep going and prove that you guys are different than the way the Pac-12 tournament ended?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is, and I think that's how everybody has to approach it, as a chance to prove the kind of team we really are, as opposed to the team we've been playing like. Because like I said earlier, we started out the beginning of the season, we were hanging with Syracuse without Richard, and I think we would have challenged in Maui a lot more had Richard not been hurt. And we still hung with Syracuse, who didn't lose for their first 25 games. And we beat Arizona, and we started out conference 5-0, and then we just kind of went into a lull there. And I think it's a chance to prove that that's the team that we can play like, we're capable of playing like, as opposed to the team who lost however many of its last however many games.
5 of 7, I think.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I think the season really is, for you guys, has been marked by, as Joe said, the highs, but also the lows, and not coming out ready to play hard every game or at the start of every game. Is that something you've noticed?
Yeah, a little bit there. There was a time when, well, I was extremely frustrated and just with how we were coming out in general and our effort level in terms of, getting down when the other team makes a run and we can't make a shot. The other team makes a run, everybody kind of hangs their head. And so expressed that frustration to the team. And I think by the end of the season we had addressed it, and I think we had turned it around a little bit. I mean, in the Pac-12 tournament game against Colorado, I'm people telling me that, well, you guys didn't look like you were playing very hard. I felt like we were playing pretty hard in the first half. I mean, obviously we played harder in the second half. Maybe that was out of necessity or whatever, but I didn't think we didn't play hard in the first half. We didn't make any shots in the first half, and we didn't really shoot the ball very well in the second half of the season. But I think we were making steps in the right direction to coming out playing hard and taking care of that and doing it the whole game, all 40 minutes. And I don't know, I don't know how that happens. Just as, I mean, the type of person I am, I don't feel like it just never really makes sense to me to not play hard all 40 minutes. And I mean, we've got some young guys, and we weren't shooting the ball as well as we were at the beginning of the season. So when you're shooting the ball well, it's easy to play hard because everything's going right for you, everything's positive. But there at the end, we couldn't buy a basket to save our lives, and I think that affected our defense and our overall attitude towards the games just because nothing would go right for us.
It seemed like in that second half, though, that your guards were a little more aggressive, trying to get to the rim instead of settling for outside shots. Was that that's maybe not effort, but more aggression?
Yeah, I think that would be a key for us. We've got guys who can really get to the basket. We've got good length, and so when they get to the basket, they can really extend and get up there and at least get the ball on the rim so we can get another chance to tip it in, or it's a higher percentage shot as opposed to shooting a bunch of threes, which I don't know what our percentage is, but I'm guessing it's probably not that great from three. And so that would be something I would love to have seen more from our team as opposed to settling. But that could also be, you could see that as the team, we're down 15 and the team's got to play super hard to get it back to close to even, and then everybody's tired, and then we start settling for threes, and then the other team widens the gap perhaps. I mean,
but in general, as you move forward in this tournament, would you like to see more of that?
Yeah, I would love to see more aggression, more attacking the paint, bringing it to the basket. Even though teams are going to be packing the paint on us, I think it's going to be key for us to get to the basket instead of settling for long shots, long threes.
And how can you explain the last few games getting out-rebounded as a team pretty substantially, despite Richard leading the conference in rebounding, and you're up there about 8 boards a game? What's happening with that?
I don't know. I don't know what.
Was that and how you?
It's kind of demoralizing when the other team, you play a hard possession of defense, and the team's been playing hard, defense has been going well, and you need the stop so you can get back and get a double bang, turn it around, get a couple points. And you play hard for 30 seconds, 32 seconds of defense, the other team fires up a bad shot and they get an offensive rebound and get to play 35 more seconds of defense. And when you really needed that stop, that can be a little demoralizing for the team. But I couldn't tell you why that happens. I couldn't tell you.
And you guys had a day off yesterday?
Yeah.
Sunday? Yeah.
Well, kind of. We came in and we scrimmaged. We got up and down a little bit. It was just, the coaches didn't call any plays. They refereed, they officiated the game, and we just kind of played.
But as a team, you didn't watch the selection show? Or?
Some of the guys did, some of the guys didn't. Everybody was in Haas the whole time, but I was one of the guys who didn't. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to sit there and agonize over every single pick. I remember my freshman year when we sat there, and even last year. But last year we were kind of more sure we were going to get in. But I remember sitting there just waiting for our name to get called every pick, and the whole time it's just like hearts falling every pick where it's not you, and I just couldn't do it.